We are entering into a world of cosmic schizophrenia and complete distortion when it comes to trying our best to analyze what is happening. Yet again, for the umpteenth time, I'm saying this. It has been said by a number of realists and those individuals who understand the world, we have to adjust our interpretation of what's happening right now to reality and not bend reality to fit the worldview that we want. Let me say this again. What is happening right now regarding Israel is a case, as we say in law, of first impression. There's no such thing as this. It's never happened before. We're talking about the Israel of 30 years ago, 40 years ago. This is kind of like in a Reagan world. You're talking about a world that doesn't exist anymore the way people are talking about. Or I hear people, I don't want to mention names, whose idea of analysis is to talk about and lament how horrible people are, how horrible Hamas is, how brutal these people are. Yes, that is an immutable fact. That is a given. We know this. That is not commentary. That's reaction. That doesn't mean anything. You're thinking, apparently these people are thinking that by saying this rote, repetitious, this mantra repeatedly, that somehow something's going to change, that you're going to talk sense into Hamas, you're going to everything that we used to know about the world, about the United States enjoying a sense of primacy and unipolarity and this huge this hegemon, this military titan, it's gone. It's gone. It's a new world. It's a new reality. We look at Turkey. Look at what Erdogan is saying. Look at, as Schwab said, kind of a great reset, but not the way anybody had anticipated. People are talking about things. People are discussing the world and discussing what's happening in Israel, in particular regarding Hamas, in phrases that have nothing to do with reality. And what is happening right now is that if there is to be a solution, it's not going to be a solution most people, and I don't know if it's you, are going to like. Do you want a solution? If you go to a doctor and say, "Can you help me?" Yes. Oh, that's good news. It's called amputation. That's how I help control this gangrenous, this fungating disease. We need chemotherapy and radiation that can most probably kill you but it can affect and adjust and directly connect with the source of this. We are still asking people who speak on behalf of either Hamas or the Palestinian world to have them once and for all. Would you decry officially? Would you denounce the horrible behavior, this horrible terrorist activity that was exacted upon the people of Israel? Yes! For the millionth time, are we still there? Get over this. Move on. It didn't have the effect. People keep thinking that somehow this is going to shock the conscience. No, notwithstanding that fact, it seemed to solidify the Arab and the world street, as we say. We talk about the strip and the street against Israel. And this confounds you. And it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you want. It doesn't matter what you think is correct. None of this matters. This is reality. This is what happens. This is what this means. You're talking about 40 years ago. And forget two-state. the ultimate, the only way this is going to be settled. And when you say settled, what do you mean? Victory? What do you mean by victory? Victory? What do you think is going to happen? What specifically is it that you think is a settlement? Because settlement does not mean victory. I respectfully submit to you that Bibi Netanyahu will not be in office. His days are done. The two-state solution is dead. There is no. You're seeing what appears to be, and this is the most important part, incompatibility. Now, the only way that this can be resolved in terms of peace is to turn your back on Biden, Blinken, the West, NATO. Keep those. They're not really, thank God, they're not really directly involved in this. But the usual subjects, Macron, and when you tell the world, we side with Israel, we side, what you're doing is you're telling the world, we are your enemy. Now, this drives Americans some crazy. What do you mean? Because for years we've had this, and I love Israel. I've said this to the point, you always feel like you have to say it so that people, it's like the old, some of my best friends are black. It's like, I love Israel. I want nothing but the best for Israel. Okay, fine. But what I am saying, and what I'm trying to put, and what I'm trying to explain to folks, is that we are looking at something right now that may require having MBS, Erdogan, Xi Jinping, Putin, other people come in and say, here's what we're going to do. Israel, back off this stranglehold, this prison wall, this apartheid, whatever you want to call it, and quit arguing about, well, who was here first? Was it the time of David? Or was it Judea? Was it the Sumerians? We're not talking about the provenance. We're not trying to quiet title. This isn't some real estate transaction. This is beyond this. They're going to have to come in there and they're going to say, listen, Israel, back off. Gaza, back off. Not Gaza, excuse me, Hamas. They are kind of interchangeable. And stop blaming the people of Gaza because, well, you voted them in. You knew exactly what they were. Stop this. Stop this. This is not doing anything. I'm not going to mention names, but some of the brightest, smartest people in the world, for some reason, when it comes to Israel with the subject matter, whatever logic they employed before as to how to deal with something goes out the window. You've got to have people come in and say, Israel, number one, you're going to back off. You're going to let supplies in. You're going to do this. Hamas, get out. Number three, we're going to put our peacekeepers in there. The hell with the UN. Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, China, whatever. We're going to put our peacekeepers in there, our observers, our people. That's who we're going to go. That's what we're going to do. You understand this? And if you dare do, if one of our people gets killed, that's another story. All bets are off. So Israel can sit back and say, okay, that's the way you want it. That's it. Everybody back off. Watch what happens. And if one rocket goes from Gaza into Israel, that's it. And we know exactly whom to blame. We know exactly who's running Hamas. We know exactly who's in charge. And we'll take care of it our way. But as far as Biden and Blinken and Macron and the whole bit, you're done. You're finished. The West is through. This is a new story, a new world. Everything you knew 30, 40 years ago, forget it. And Bibi Netanyahu, the time has come. You've got to. Israel, my God, this is a public relations nightmare. And you cannot merely say to yourself, well, we're right about this. We're right. We were here first. We don't want to hear about the Nakba. You better start, because the whole world is turning against you. And if you don't think the world turning against you can mean anything, I've got 2 words for you. The Vietnam War. Well, it's 3 words. But anyway, this is beyond this. And my God, find yourself. Do me a favor. If you're watching cable news, forget it. The best commentary is foreign and is Middle Eastern And it's people with accents and names you can't pronounce. And it's not the usual morons who want to show you their disgust. Because when it comes to the worst possible sphere of influence of opinion, it's the conservative world. They are morons. They're into passion plays and moralistic intellectual hullabaloo, or the lack thereof. There I've spoken. What do you think? Let me hear from you. Comment, my dear friends. Comment as you see fit.